Well, thank you so much, Beth, for having me today, and 3M for hosting. My name is Jacob. Good to be here with all of you today. Buenos tardes, me llamo Jacobo Frey. Yo soy it's really a great honor to be here with all of you about this Hispanic, and specifically this concept of we all are human. And that's something that resonates, something that should resonate with everyone throughout our entire country. Box ourselves into these finite patterns. We box ourselves literally into boundaries. We set up walls. We designate areas where you are supposed to and are not supposed to go. All of this is entirely arbitrary. All this runs counter to the underlying principle that we're all people deep down. We're human beings, and we should be treated as such. And I don't think that's too much to ask. Specifically right now, I want to just take a moment to touch on the crisis that we have at the border that is a man-made crisis. This is policy that has been implemented intentionally. Are programs which haven't been carried out in full to help people and to service people the way that they need. And it hasn't necessarily always been that way. For, and I'm going to get into the rest of the topics later, but when this is just something that I'm particularly passionate about right now. The way our structure is set up, the way our the way we prevent people from moving to seasonal or permanently, the way we set it up now is not only an immoral decision, because people are barred from their loved ones, families, because it does not allow us to realize the full potential of human capital that we have both right now in our country. We have more than a few jobs that are available. In fact, we've where almost every employer, including 3M, where we are located right now, is in search of really talented people. Of Minneapolis has always relied on the talent of our immigrant neighbors, bolstering the economic vitality of everything that we have going on in our city, and especially right now as we come back, as we recover from a global pandemic, as we try to get back not just truly transformational, we leaders that are not just areas in the work that we're doing. And just to give you an example or two about what this looks like practically, I want to talk about East Lake Street. How many of you are familiar with East Lakes? How many of you are from here in general, or live here in general? Okay. And are from East Lake? All right. For those that do know, it's an ordinary place. You can walk down the street, and there's like 1,000 different kinds of tastes packed in on the same block. That is created by this interconnectivity of human beings that is literally woven right onto. There's 1,000 different backgrounds and mentalities. There's a ton of different races, and the Latino community is tried and true on this corridor, and in the surrounding blocks and neighborhoods specifically. I mean, you hear Spanish on almost every single block, and everybody, from residents to business, global pandemic these past couple of years. Now, tragically, the same areas that were hardest hit by areas that were hardest hit Floyd. And so that's hit and then hit again. And then there was an economic downturn. And then there's all of the other things that we all collectively. Perhaps one of the things that has been the most apparent is the resilience. The resilience of an extraordinary people that add every day. They're strong. They're coming back. And when I go and I talk to business owners over there, what I also love is they're really looking for are not extraordinary in that they are fair and honest asks. Give us the canvas so that we can help. We want to make sure the corridor is safe so that we can get both our customers in and we can get our workers and way. Opportunities for is the essence, I believe, of correlation between hard work. Type a little bit here. I mean, these are incredibly hard. Yeah. And I'm a believer, if you were to like take the core beliefs of my ideology, of the philosophy that I guide myself by, I want to create between hard work and success. I ran for Team USA than anything else, is that if you work that's standing next to you on the starting line, you're probably going to beat them. I believe that if you work hard, you should see a direct access to gain. Part of that is set up in a way that is not fair to everyone. So depending on who your parents much more difficulty at times in getting. And so there's a few things that we're trying to. One, as it presently sits, an example again. Them from our Latino community, they have put in blood, sweat, and tears to making their business wonderful. In making their business wonderful, they made that corridor wonderful. In making that corridor wonderful, the neighborhood becomes a more trafficked area. Suddenly, hey, we can make more money if we jack the rents a little bit. The value. People that made these communities wonderful because they can't pay the rent. Well, let's flip that on its head. Equity is a business term. Equity as a business term means when things get better, you have it means you have an ownership interest. So that when those values go up, you're the one, these businesses, these small and local businesses, are the ones that are able to reap the benefit of those. That help to bridge the. Have the ability not just to own their own business, but to crazy radical idea. This is an idea that has been put out by American governments generation after generation. If you think back to the GI Bill, when people came home from World War II, white people, they come back in. It's a great idea given to a few people. They come back and there was this whole beautiful vision of, white suburbs, you have the family, you have a mortgage, and then you own the home. And then you can pass that home on to your kids, and you can build intergenerational wealth. And the previous generation. That's this whole concept. That's what we're trying to change right now. And there's so now that are wildly successful, whether that's in foundational, nonprofit. A believer that, when we work together, we gain much more progress here. And so that's the goal that is happening right now. And I've learned just a bit about what you've talked about the rest of the day. Some of these extraordinary presenters that my staff have informed me about. So you that are visiting, which is Minneapolis, and spend your time and your money and hang out there for a little bit. We would love to have you. And if you do really get a chance, and make an intentional effort over this next week or so to check out East Lake. That place is back in fine form right now. Million people that call it their home every single day. Thank you so much for having together. It's an honor to work with you. Thank you.